Well, first off, I think men and women operate differently. So like, I don't think,
So if you're dating
like, even if I had thirst traps on my Instagram, I think men and women's experiences on social media is very, very. Madison, what are you doing? Come over. The attention men and women receive online is so vastly different. So, like, I think it's probably pretty reasonable for a guy to ask his girl to not post certain types of pictures, but it doesn't really make sense for a girl to ask the same, because like guys
men
really
are not posting like sexualized photos of themselves. The majority of them are not.
The majority of them aren't, and just the sheer amount of attention that women get versus
Absolutely.
men is like astoundingly different.
Yeah.
So like you can take an average girl with like 1,000 followers on Instagram, and she's getting DMs, she's getting offers to be flown out.
Totally.
Like so whereas most men, even attractive men, are not really getting DM'd by chicks.
They're
like
not getting
there's
the same
maybe
attention.
occasionally, but men really don't get that degree of attention. So
Absolutely, I agree.
there's a differential there. So
And a lot of that just has to do with the fact that like men are typically the ones who do initiate with women, and if it's the other way around,
I think women should be simps though. So I'm like,
Honestly, not a lot of people know how to handle that.
Oh, it's great. Like if a fucking chick's all over you, like simping, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'd say with certain people, I'm pretty simpy.
I think
I've been simping with some people.
as like too forward.
Depends if you,
I'm curious how everybody feels about that, because I don't know how it differs now versus like throughout time a little bit, but the idea of like women asking for a man's phone number, like kind of initiating more of that, or kind of being like considered forward sometimes. Like how do you guys how do you guys feel about that?
We don't want a girl to be aggressive about it,
What's
but you can still
like show interest.
You can still take initiative, but do so in like a kind of a feminine
What's
way.
aggressive?
I've just heard like it's more so like women like, or they set the guy up to be in the position to move it forward versus like the woman.
yes.
Yeah, you'll
moving forward.
glance
How do you
in
feel
our
about
direction
that?
for 2 seconds, and then that's your sign.
I know, please say what's
bat
aggressive.
their eyelashes or
Huh?
drop their
What's
handkerchief.
like the aggressive?
If
What's
they're
the
like
aggressive?
constantly messaging you, like I've had a few girls do
Is
that
that
where
it?
they
Like,
like
is
will
that the
constantly
only-
like
I
replying
think people
to your
would like
stories and
describe
shit
it as
like that.
clingy and.
But if like a woman were to slide into your
It's like a
DMs, how
lot
does
of
that make you
contact.
feel?
No, that's fine. If she slides into your DMs, that's fine. But if she does it once every 3 days, then that's different. You know,
I think
it's
that's
annoying.
Like,
But if you've made the initial contact, and if you've gone on a date and then she simps on you after that, it's glorious.
Okay, so how
Yeah.
about
What if
if
she
it's
simped on you
if
in
it's
the
them
beginning?
sliding into your DMs versus like a friendlier approach, as in like it's like, oh, just like catching up to be friends,
Yeah.
versus like, hey, like I think you're attractive, let's go out. Like how does that differ? Is that too much then for a woman to say like, hey?
No, because
I
if she
find you
does
attractive?
that, then
too
I
much of a
think that
turn
she's
off?
doing that to a lot of other guys too. I think it's like
a little too much.
It's a process, you know. If she's that forward with me, then I'm like, okay, well then she's obviously forward with everyone else. But if it feels exclusive and if it feels like a little bit more rare, then that'll be different.
Also, anything like
Little more genuine.
overtly sexual, like if she's like, "Yo, let me suck that," like,
Okay.
okay, relax, lady.
on the
Well,
first
Brian, simmer down.
but you
Chill
like
out.
but you like women simping. What do you mean? Is that not? I'm just messing.
No,
No, it's
Yeah,
just
I'm
like
just messing
too. It's like
simping in a cute way. You know
I
what I
was
mean?
in like a weird
Simping
like
More genuine.
situation, like maybe.
You had a good day.
Hmm?
Like wishing you had a good day.
Yeah,
You know,
stuff like
just
that. And also,
sending
like
you
when
good
you're just
messages.
around, just the two of you at home, and she always got her hands on you. Like, I know I keep bringing it back, but European
Affection.
girls are great like that. They're very affectionate. Even like if you're lying at the beach, they're always just like touching your back and
Yeah.
stroking it. Just
Just
stuff
like
this.
intimacy, but
Yeah, nice,
affection.
feminine,
Yeah.
tender.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing. That's like what simping is for a
She's
girl.
When I
making
think
it
a lot of
known
people
that she
confuse
wants you and she
intimacy for
loves
like,
you.
this is one thing that I think is like people, they've strayed away from what love is, and they think like lust is love and intimacy means sex, when in reality a lot of it has to do with
Like simple
affection
things.
and genuine love and
I think, and
genuine heart
often
connection.
with a guy who's like, you know, very busy and career driven and always around other guys and doing deals and like living a very sort of fast paced masculine lifestyle, that's the perfect balance.
to have that escape as well. from
Exactly
all of
right.
that.
To have that soft, like feminine touch is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, if a girl brings you peace, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
the biggest
Totally.
thing. Like a girl that gives you a headache, like as you said, like if you're a guy and you're a businessman, if you have a stressful life when it comes to work, like you need like a chick that brings you peace.
There is no
Major.
feeling in the world like a woman's warmth in that
Absolutely.
regard.
And that's something I think can be so important as far as like balancing a household is For those who I guess do want to go with more of the traditional route, is like that woman is able to take that load off the man.
Exactly right. There's
take
not.
the
There's
stress
also
off and
one of the
balance it out
greatest
in that
things
way.
that you can experience is somebody making a home for you.
100%.
Coming home and there's food on the table and like, you know, the house is clean and it's such a wonderful feeling. And if a woman does that, she can honestly take a guy who operates at 95% to 100%. And that's a big difference when you get to the upper echelons like that. When a guy's operating at a high level, to have a woman there who like can push him to that next level, it's a big thing.
Men want peace and love and like a caring touch from from their girl, and women want security and protection.
Yeah, and also to use that social calibration that you guys are so good at. Very
Yeah.
observant. Like there was a study done where they put people into a waiting room. They thought they were doing something else, like a different study, and they brought them out of the waiting room after like half an hour, and they said to the man and the woman, like a bunch of different people, what did you notice? And the girls were telling them all the details of the room and everything, and the guys were like, oh, I don't remember anything. So women are much more observant socially. So if you guys can use that superpower to like observe exactly what your man needs and take him to that next level, honestly, it's a genuine superpower.
Well, and that's something I think is so important, especially we were talking about feminism earlier, is like it's become like what's the better gender, like who can do more, and trying to compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges, when in reality it's like we were designed to complement each other and work together
Exactly
rather
right.
than compete in the same
That
level.
notion is being destroyed though, because feminism tells you you don't need to do anything for a man. You're independent, boss babe, all of this sort of crap. Whereas really, we both complement each other and we both do things for each other, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And
There's
that
nothing wrong with living a life where you want to secure a mate and a partner and a long-term relationship with somebody you can build a legacy and a family with.
As well as like if both, I mean, and if both want to work, I think that's great. Like I definitely like would love to like stay at home as well, but I know I want to still be out and about and have my own things going on with that. But just the idea of like parents being away from the kids so much, both working super stressful and then coming home and being stressed with the kids, that doesn't, like, there's no balance to that. There's not really anything that's gonna like help take that load off at the end of the day.
There was a study done in 2019 that found that the average like American family parents spend, I think it's 36 minutes of quality time with their children a day.
And the rest is just the blue head teachers.
Yeah,
Right, and then they go to
exactly.
school for 6 to 8 hours a day and learn God knows what.
Yeah.
Okay, so one question really quick related to this, then we'll finish up on our chats, then we're gonna wrap up here because we've gone quite long tonight. Okay, related to this, to our point about the attention that men and women get on Instagram, social media, starting with you, Grace, how many DMs would you say, I know you're in a relationship right now, have you gone like a lot of DMs? How many DMs do you get a week, a month?
I'm not like getting all the guys, but I get like 1 or 2 DMs a week, but they're not from very interesting, like any guys that I would give any chance to.
Sure. Priya, what about you? How are the DMs looking?
Nothing
Any
too
blue check mark? Well, you can buy blue check mark now. So
They've lost their value.
nothing too crazy.
how many in terms of volume though? How many DMs do you get?
Probably a handful a week, but in terms of them being like outrageous, claims like sugar daddy kind of stuff, I think maybe I've had like a total of 10 ever, at least that I've seen. Nothing.
Okay, 10 sugar daddy offers, and then a bunch of normal dudes.
Probably just randos, yeah.
Wait, so you want the sugar daddy offers?
No, I don't want any of them.
Oh, you don't want any of them. Okay. What about you? How are the DMs?
Probably a handful a week, but also I have my handle on my dating profile so that they can see who I am outside
Sure.
of the 6 photos. So a lot of them come from there.
Sure.
I don't post on Instagram, so.
No DMs?
No.
You've never gotten DM'd?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine.
I probably get a good amount of DMs weekly, but I am not currently looking, so not really.
Situationship, of
Yeah,
course.
it's getting in the way of things.
Honestly, I'm not the most active on Instagram. I kind of just get like the random, like every now and then, maybe like 1 or 2 every few weeks kind of thing. Sometimes like mutual friends kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, because I do OnlyFans, everything's mostly just like slide ups on the thirst traps.
Okay.
But like things I would actually take seriously, maybe like 2-3 fingers on my hand, I can count them. But yeah.
Okay. What about you? How many DMs you getting?
Like weekly?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends what. It depends what I'm doing that week, I guess, and how much I
just
post.
like average, like every month, or
I would say
10, 20, 30,
about
100
like,
plus
a little around like the 10, 15 or so.
a month?
About, yeah.
Okay.
I just prefer like more in person anyway, so.
I would say like a nice amount, but it honestly just really, really depends on what I'm posting. Like on my stories, what pictures I'm posting. Bikini pic, yeah, we're gonna get a nice amount. But if I don't post anything, not really too often. I don't know.
That's like
It
the
depends,
main,
yeah. It honestly just really depends.
Okay, got it. Good to know. Good to know.